Good morning, everyone. This is Wild Wolf Gaming 99. And, like I said at the end of last stream, I will, and I have gotten permission, and I have put stuff in my name so people know that I am live, and I will only be in one part of the server itself. And down in the description below, there is a link to the Discord server of this Minecraft server, and there is a link to there is two links to the mod packs for this server. There is one link for the CurseForge pack, and there's one link for the Modrinth pack, depending on whichever launcher you use for your mods. Now, yeah, this is the spawn for Cobblemon Mystery Dungeon. And it's been updated since the last time I think anybody did a video on this server or made any content on this server to begin with. Considering the only content I've seen here on the YouTube side of things anyway is one video made by a Spanish Minecraft creator, or a Spanish creator in general. But today we'll be focusing on the West server, which is where I primarily make my home. And we will be looking at some of the guilds that I'm in, because there's a lot to do here, and there's a lot of people here. There's quests, there's lots of different mons that exist and are a thing. But this is one of the guilds I'm in currently, and I think the most active current guild on the server, though it is early in the morning. And time zones are a thing. Either way, this is the headquarters for the law enforcement section of Snorlax Island. This is the Auburn Knights Guild headquarters. And if you see me around here, you'll more than likely catch me as my character for this area, Crunch the Croconaw. Anyway, this will probably be a short stream, but let's enjoy it while we can, shall we? This was all built by our guild leader, Krim. Along with, and there's lots of, and if you want to join up, just ask. Either way, there's a lot here, and honestly, I have no idea what to say or do here, considering I'm a bit nervous, and I kind of expected there to be people on. But either way, this is the meeting area for the guild. And there's lots. There is morphs on this server, by the way, which means you get to play as different types of Pokemon. There currently are no legendaries on this server. There are some mythicals, but there really aren't any legendaries yet. Server staff have got things figured out that they're going to be doing here soon, probably. And I know this is a lot earlier than my usual stream start time, considering usually I only start around 2, but I have a day off today, and I wanted to get this all set up. And I wanted to get this completely figured and shown off and done with the cool stuff and all that. There is a postage system, by the way. There is a mail system. There is a guild that runs the mail system. Either way, this is the Auburn Knights Guild headquarters. One of I will admit I'm nervous doing this, considering there's nobody really on this early in the morning. Well, nobody that I really know this early in the morning. Most people usually are on in the more on in the afternoon and evening in my time. But either way, there's morphs to do. There's lots to explore, considering looter is a thing, meaning you will always have, provided nobody's been a jerk and claimed the looter chests. There's plenty for you to get here, and there's plenty for you to do here. Considering there is tourneys that are there are tourneys that are happening here. This isn't like Unova, like the last time I did a stream like this, and it was Unova Legends, and the server was very, very dead at that point, save for the core crew that was roaming around in it at the time. Otherwise, there is the backpack mod. There is Mega Showdown is also here. There's book updates, there's lots and lots to do. And there is going to be other there's also the artifact. There's also artifacts, beautify, lots of mods here. This one doesn't work and needs to be removed. We're just waiting on that to get. Bruin and Chewin does not work on this server. It crashes it, so it's not implemented and is going to get removed here in some upcoming updates. Then there's also chipped and all the various stuff that comes with that mod. All the various textured building blocks you can use to build stuff with. And I'm being very, very terrible at being entertaining, aren't I? It also probably doesn't help that, again, this is a lot earlier than I usually stream. Considering usually I stream in the afternoon or I stream in the evening, not 10 o'clock in the morning. But yeah, there's a lot of building materials for chipped. Well, that was Auburn Knights Guild headquarters. We are now headed down to the Dark Citadel here in a minute, once I finish showing off all the blocks and stuff. But, you know, there's tons of Cobblemon stuff here, too. I probably should have shown off Spawn, now that I'm thinking about it. Completely. But there's a lot of stuff here. There's Mega Showdown, there's the Terrestrial System, there's pretty much legendaries aren't implemented yet, and well, so there are some mythicals that have been implemented, like Keldeo. Keldeo has been implemented. As has Shaman, Mew, and I think a few others yet. But yeah, also the backpack mod is a thing. Either way, this is the path down to another part of the Auburn Knights, I guess, build area. Welcome down to the Dark Citadel, which is a deep dark city that Krim, our guild leader, unintentionally built his guild hall on top of. Oh, there's Swamp. He's somebody who's on here on the server pretty often. Ah, there's also this. There's also in-game voice chat, so you don't have to talk through Discord servers either. But either way, I keep saying that. I don't mean to keep saying that. I'm just nervous considering I really like this server and I really hope it does well. Wonder if it is also a thing. It's fun. It's amazing. This is the second in command for the server's little home. But there are more. But Figura is also a thing here, by the way, with people having custom Pokemon skins / avatars. I unfortunately don't know how to do that, so I mostly get around with the morph. With the morph mods and all the issues that come with them. Considering the camera is height accurate, and there are certain things that are not size friendly. There are builds that aren't large Pokemon friendly. But either way, this is the dark. I keep saying that. I don't mean to keep saying that. I'm just nervous. But this is the Dark Citadel so far. It's a deep, dark, ancient city that people have built in. This is Eris's area with her farms and the barrel and labs and various root areas. Oh, Joe's here. And no, it's not Joe from the Vanguard streams. I guess he just went AFK in here. But either way, this is the Dark Citadel. That was Joe the Shaman, who runs one of the bigger towns here on the server. Yeah, the claim blocks are also a thing and are created using the golden hoe. And like I said earlier, looter is also a thing. So you can, and provided people aren't going to be jerks about it and claiming looter chests, you won't have to worry about getting in and there not being any loot if you're a fresh start, which is incredibly nice. I will be going over everything on foot. So I guess there will be plenty to see and plenty to do. But there's plenty of both to do. There's builds to do, there's exploration to do. There is Terralith and a lot of the odd, wacky not content generation. A lot of the weird, wacky terrain generation that occurs here. That occurs with it. But yeah, it's early in the morning on a Saturday. Which normally you'd think would equate to a lot of people being here. But a lot of the time, but more often than not, people have lives and won't be getting on till later in the evening. Also, raids are a thing, and mythical raids are a thing. But I will be... Let's see, where is it? I need to go... Yeah. I'm not being a very good host, am I? I'm not being too entertaining. Yeah, no, mythical raids are a thing, with Selby being in the south. I, unfortunately, am not going to that. Mostly because I don't have a good team prepped, despite how it looks there in the left-hand corner. But again, there's a lot of cool stuff here. There's a lot of neat stuff here. But mostly it's just Minecraft. It's just fun Minecraft. Once again, there are links in the description. There are links for the Discord server. There are links for... and links for the server itself. For both CurseForge and for Modrinth. And there are lots of bases in progress here too. And I would get, and and if I try to give a tour of all of them, I'd be here all day, and I'd be here and that's just in the West. There's 3 other servers besides West. There's North, South, and East, with each offering a different thing with each offering its own unique perspective on things. Because the East has most of the guilds. It's very much guild central station over there. That doesn't mean there aren't guilds in the other parts of the maps, but East has the most lore going on at any server lore going on at any given time, and has the most yeah. Now, East has the most server lore going on at any given time, and it also has the most guilds, and not guilds, considering it has its own problematic business. It has its own... Ah! Didn't know this was here. But it has its own version of a thieves guild, if you're interested in that type of situation. And there is /nickname in case you didn't see that earlier in the chat, earlier in the Minecraft chat. And but I am going there's also Paths Romana, which there's basically people have built roads all over the server to the various different spots all over the server. That doesn't mean that everyone's house is connected up. It's just most of the major towns. And yes, there are towns here. Most of the major towns... Oh, what am I doing? I can just warp to places because that's a thing. But also, yeah, there's roads here. People have carved out roads and have made the server more interconnected. Either way, East has the most guilds, it has the most brotherhoods, it has the most stuff going on. Unfortunately, at least from my perspective, East tends to like to keep things East. And they don't like interacting with the rest of the Snorlax Island. lore server. The rest of Snorlax Island, which is the canonical name for this server in game. But yeah, no. East doesn't like interacting with people outside of the East. They like keeping things very isolationist. North is very empty. And I don't mean that in a bad way. It's really empty. A lot of people have, well, they don't play there too often. And it's, again, mostly empty due to the fact that the server is currently between updates. With the 2-week Minecraft phase being what it is. That's not to say staff, admins, and the server owner themselves aren't working on stuff, because they are. They have updates planned and they're currently working on them. It's just taking a minute. For them to get stuff. Considering all this is very much consider the morph mod is something that's existed since forever, but it's never been this well put together, I'll say that much, or this extensive either. And they are planning on giving all the various Cobblemon permanent features, like Croconaw here will have permanent water breathing. Flying Pokemon will be able to fly, etc., etc. And it'll give morphs something unique to them, rather than just being, well, morphs. Which is honestly pretty fantastic, all things considered. I keep doing that. But it is fantastic. It's, well, it's amazing is what it is. But, again, usually the server is a lot more, especially here in the West, is a lot more popping than, especially in later at night and in the evening, when people are getting off work or getting out of school. Though it is a Saturday, and people could just be busy with IRL things. But once again, information for the server and the Discord server is in the description of the stream. I should probably cover that up. Yeah, I'm going to cover that up. But there are raids. There are also Terra raids, which are a thing. and bring something unique to the table, considering there's all the various Terra types exist. Dynamax is mostly banned, despite it being a thing. But Mega Evolution is here, and Terastallization is here, along with Z moves, though both are difficult to get your hands on. Considering Z moves are a two-piece thing that require a Z ring and a crystal. But there's a lot of Terastallization you can just use immediately because it's just a one-off thing that exists. You just need to be able to craft a Terra Orb. Either way, I have a Dynamax Band, I have a Mega Band, I have a Terra Orb, I have a Z-Ring. The server's been up for 3 months. That doesn't mean you can't get in too, but it's been fun. It's fun, it's amazing. There's lots of cool generations here. Like these mountain hot springs. Oh, people are here. Hi, Joe. Sorry I didn't see you earlier. Use carpet in the deep dark. It'll block sounds. It'll help. Yeah, there's no more shriekers in that deep dark though. I should really get this up on my. I should really get chat up on my phone due to me not having a second monitor to read chat on. I should get it up on my phone. Hold on to your butts. There we go. Either way though, the server Discord is in the description. The mod pack, both mod packs, both for CurseForge and for Modrinth, are also in the description if you want to hop in and join. Okay, there. I'm officially viewing chat on my phone due to me not having a second monitor or knowing how to set up a second monitor. Either way. Cosmog isn't turned on though. Joe, Cosmog isn't turned on. A lot of the mythicals aren't turned on, save for a handful. Save for Keldeo, Celebi, Mew. But Cosmog is not one of them. Also, there's no need to really worry down there, considering all the Shriekers have been taken out, save for the one that Ratha uses, that Kainos uses to make his bed. Considering his mattress screams at him. And I think he does that mostly for the funny. A thing to think. But otherwise, there's lots of Terralith biome. But there's lots of Terralith biomes here. There's lots of fun stuff to do here. Whenever people are on. Because there are people that are on. It's just they're usually only on in the afternoon or the evening. Or at night. But I guess despite it being a Saturday, people are busy with IRL stuff. Which I honestly don't mind. People are going to be busy with what they're going to be busy with. Can't exactly expect them to drop everything. You know what? I should probably just do it. I should probably just head to a town. Or at least head to actual spawn when you actually get into the server. Welcome to actual spawn when you get into the server. For the first time. There are quests boards. And message boards and just things in general. And lots of shops. Player, along with various other things. I haven't been to spawn in a minute. There's a big old shopping district here now that there wasn't. And the Baldman is there. Is still there. Nope. Oh, that's not good. Oh, that's concerning. But there is stuff to do. That seems to be a one-off. That is hopefully a one-off. Okay, some of this stuff is new. Yep, there is the road maps, the various road maps on the server, thanks to the Pax Romana mod. So not only roads are a thing, they actually let you fast travel, so you don't have to cheat everywhere with /p warp or whatever, or /p home. You gotta remember where you are on the server, though. There are lots of new things. There are lots of things being built all the time. Lots of mega builds being worked on, lots of I'm sorry, I don't mean to be humming and hawing and just But yeah, there's a lot of builds here. There's a lot of that's new. Though to be fair, I guess I haven't been down in this part of the server, in this part of the West, for a little while. There are links that should be working in the server description. Either way, this is Joe's area, not Joe from chat's area, but Joe I know from this server. Joe the Shaman, who is the cause of all of the Baldman memes that exist in this server. Yeah, this is his area. With his mystery dungeon that he's built. Along with the various fun, interesting things he's built down here. Or people have built, or he's allowed people to build here down on his property. Like Zatu's Odd Exhibits. which has, I think, almost every item in the server here. Or at least every crazy item. With every odd item here in the server. But again, server stuff in the server description is stuff in the server description, and there is stuff in the Sava information is down in the description for this stream. The links should work, and if not, you can just put them in the search bar yourself, and they should work anyway. I kind of wish I'm kind of wishing I did this later in the day when more people would be on. Though I suppose that's my mistake for doing this so damn early. Yeah, there is a TM mart here. There is an inn here with. Yeah, that's death. Unless you have cloud in a bottle. And there's the public baths. And some of the various cool. That's new though. That's somewhat new anyway. But yeah, no, Joe has a mystery dungeon under his town. If you can't hear that immediately. If you want to do something, that's something you can do. And yes, there are graves here for various different players' characters, like Isa. Now I need to find a road sign. Because there is other builds here that are fun and interesting that I really want to show off. Yeah, there's also a Lytra launcher. You can also go to the end. There's no Ender Dragon anymore. There is no Ender Dragon due to various chicanery. But there is captures that only originate in the end. So, yeah, that's a thing. Either way, this was the Garden of Serenity. And now we're heading to oh, there's multiple different places we can go. First, let's head over to Primora. And welcome to Primora, one of the those crystals that glass goes all the way up to build height, by the way. I definitely should have started this later in the later in the day when when more people would be on. Either way, this is Primora. There's lots of bases, and there's builds in development, there's bases in development, there's cool stuff here. Once again, the 2-week Minecraft phase hitting, and, well, no, that's not entirely true for here. At least for most of it. Because a lot of the people that excuse me, that built here are still here on the server. Well, not currently, but they're here on the server. You know? And now we're headed up to AHS, which is, which is the first guild I joined here on the server, and it's a guild I'm still a part of. Though around here, you'll more than likely see me as Braun the Rhyperior, considering that's the guy who's a member of this guild. You can multi-guild. It's not banned. It's just fun stuff, you know? Though, I guess if you're part of the Thieves Brotherhood, you can't be a part of AKG. Or I guess you can, because people are allowed to have multiple characters, but you can't use one character to steal from another claim or whatever. Oh, and over here is the Copper Top Casino, which is not associated with the AKG. Not AKG. AHS. But this is the AHS's museum that a lot of time was spent building upon. Again, I probably should have done this later in the day when people were on. And here are all the Fossilmon exhibits that exist and are a thing. Again, there's a lot of fun stuff to do here, a lot of fun places to see, a lot of fun places to explore. There are trial chambers to do. I'm being a bad entertainer and a bad host. But again, there's stuff here, there's fun stuff to do. It's just this is early on and people are busy and I can't. And the server can't be jumping all the time. But this is a thing. This exists. There are 3 other servers to explore. South is the oldest server, considering it was the... Hold on, I gotta sneeze. Considering it was the original beta test server for this pack that was only allowed via early access, which I didn't have. It's still a thing though. And people do, and the oldest builds on the server are still there. But right now, West and East are the most active servers. With South being pretty active as pretty active as well, and North being primarily empty for all that I know of it. Either way, I think I think that that's going to wrap up the stream, considering yeah, there's really nobody on, unfortunately. This will be saved as its own thing. This will be a thing, and server description, and there is stuff for the server down in the description. There is stuff in the server down in the description. There is stuff in the server down in the description. Both for the Discord server and for the Minecraft server here, both for Modrinth and for CurseForge. I put both variants down in the description so you all can look at them and enjoy them. But I guess this is going to be really short. And once again, there will be no Sodor Sunday this week due to me being busy tomorrow. Until then, though, this has been Model of Game 99. I hope you all have a very fantastic rest of your Saturday. Until then, until no, Mon, until Monday, I'll see you all next time. Peace.